Tory Lanez is in the news because Tory Lanez was just sentenced to 10 years in prison for capping Megan Thee Stallion in the foot in 2020.
In 2020, I think they were in a car together.
Or 2021, one of the two, 2020 or 2021.
No, it was in July 2020. They were in a car together. Megan Thee Stallion, one of her friends, Tory Lanez, and his bodyguard. And I guess a fight broke out of some kind, and he shot her in the foot. There were multiple shots fired. And basically at the time, Megan didn't say anything to the cops about it when they were investigating, because she said, I was worried about like whether the cops would start firing on us when they realized a gun was involved. And this was during the summer of love, so there was a lot of fear mongering about cops and, you know, police brutality and stuff like that. She went to the hospital a few days later with that gunshot wound. Like, she waited and then, you know, came out and said that he was the one that did it. And ever since, he's been straight up denying that it happened, which is insane, because who else would have done it? How else did she get injured? I don't understand.
This whole story is like fishy, and there's definitely holes in it, because no way you're walking around for multiple days with a gunshot in your foot.
I think she was. I think that the indoctrination about cops was so strong back then that she might have legitimately thought, I can't tell them that he did this because they're going to start firing on all of us. Like,
what does
I genuinely believe that part of the story.
But
now Tory Lanez is blaming this incident on his childhood trauma to avoid accountability. This tweet says, Tory Lanez insists he's innocent in Megan Thee Stallion's shooting, but also says if he's guilty, it's because of his alcoholism and childhood trauma. He reportedly claims that if he did do it, he's on some OJ shit right there. He needs therapy instead of prison. So his lawyers are wanting him to get released from jail and put into a residential drug treatment program when he's sentenced instead of prison.
I want to also point out that whoever the hell the sketch artist was in the courtrum did Tory Lanez hella dirty.
Oh
like,
my God.
Like,
it looks so bad.
Come on, man.
That doesn't even look like
Give the dude a break. Are you kidding me? Like, that's not cool.
Looking rough.
Like, that's not cool, dude. Like, you should be forced to at least give a good likeness of a person.
It doesn't even look like him.
Like, like, I love this. Then Alec Baldwin's over here like, should have done it on a movie set, loser. Like that's messed up.
So this statement from Megan Thee Stallion was read in court. She was not there. She said, after everything that occurred, I can't bring myself to be in the same room with Tory. I've been tormented and terrorized. He paid bloggers to disseminate false information. He treated my trauma like a joke when I could have been dead. He blamed the system. He blamed the press. And as of late, he is using his childhood trauma to justify his actions. Slowly but surely, I'm healing, but I'll never be the same. His crime warrants the full weight of the law. I kind of question this because I don't think that, like, getting shot in the foot is, like, the worst thing that could ever happen to you.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Mary says rub some dirt in it.
Life's not fair.
Life's not fair.
But yeah, I guess she's saying he was paying people to lie about the situation and claim that she actually was injured by broken glass in the car instead of a gunshot wound. I don't think that medical examiners would see it the same way.
Do you think she went to the hospital because it was going to risk, it's like her twerking leg, and she's like, she's not going to be able to twerk.
She's never going to twerk the same again.
Like, somebody said that she was like,
she has to lean
concert,
on her good foot.
Somebody said that she was at a concert like a week later or something, twerking. It's kind of like the story about Jonathan Majors, where she's like, he cut my finger, and then she's at the bar holding a bottle of Cristal, and they're like, I don't know if you were actually hurt. These women, liars, I mean, a lot of them.
Like, if she was able to walk around for a few days, that would have had to be a very small caliber of bullet, like possibly a 22.
Tory
Not that I'm any
carries
expert,
a 22.
but yeah, exactly.
And feel free to judge him on that.
Like, that's a really small bullet.
Low-key fruity.
Oh my God, Tory Lanez carries a 380.
Low-key fruity behavior. Kind of effeminate, if you ask me.
Very much so, and clearly he didn't know how to handle it. So
he's just like leaning on the trauma narrative again, like everyone does these days, cashing in their trauma coins.
I'm telling you, if O.J. Simpson went to trial now, he would be like, look,
it was my
I know
trauma.
it sucks that I murdered this lady, but
But my dad wasn't there for me.
My dad
pushed me.
my dad beat me, and therefore it was okay that I did this. That's the world we live in now, where you're allowed to make that type of excuse.
I feel like
You did
even
this, so
Andrew
I can do
Tate did the
this.
same thing. He was like, our dad was really hard on us growing up. He would, try to teach us to be tough and beat the shit out of us and stuff like that. And that's why I am the way I am today. I thank him for that.
There's a $20 one there from Exploding Rinny.
Sorry, it hasn't popped up for me. He said I choose Megan,
Like
but with a 3.
The movie, Megan.
The robotic doll.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's kind of sus since it's a child, but whatever.
Is in the movie, is it a child or is it just a doll?
No, she's like supposed to be.
It's a doll that's supposed to be a friend to children. Like it's a child as well. Yeah.
I love that. Have you seen the things that O.J. Simpson recently, earlier this year? He's like, I got to get out of L.A. The crime it's getting out of control.
You cannot say something more self-incriminating than, but if I did it, then this would be,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
and she added that of the verdict, it was more than a vindication for me. It was a victory for every woman who has ever been shamed, dismissed, and blamed for a violent crime committed against them. I don't know if I see it that way.
Yeah. How do you see it?
She's trying to frame it as this is a win for all women in domestic violence cases or something like that.
That doesn't
When really it was
seem-
just you shouldn't have been friends with someone like that in the
Yeah.
first place.
Don't be around people that are going to drunkenly fire weapons, who don't understand gun safety at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the part about Hollywood that annoys me the most is they're so anti-gun, but they're also the least safe and don't understand the actual culture around firearms or people who actually shoot firearms, not necessarily for a living, but enjoy the sport of shooting, right?
Right.
They don't understand how important safety is to the people who live in that world. How important understanding how they work, all the way down to where and when you can transport weapons.
Okay,
things
but
like
this
that.
is more than just a lack of gun safety. It
No.
sounds like he maliciously wanted to hurt her and possibly kill her. I mean, if he shot her in the foot, who knows what could have
Yeah.
happened? He was aiming at her head and then someone moved his hand.
Yeah, or maybe
don't really know
he was trying
what
to
went
scare them
down.
and shot at the ground and hit her foot. Maybe when he was taking his gun out, it fired. I don't know. Regardless, though, at the very least, not safe gun handling at all whatsoever.
Yeah,
Clearly.
and the guy who is now representing Tory Lanez for his defense also got Casey Anthony off, I guess.
That's not a good look.
No.
Wait, he got Casey Anthony's lawyer?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it says a petition grew online. He got high-powered lawyer Jose Baez to represent him. Baez, who won an acquittal for Casey Anthony back in the day, joined us on TMZ Live to tell him about what
That's
happened.
almost
So-
worse for your career as a lawyer, right?
Uh,
I wouldn't want to be defended by Casey Anthony's lawyer or
Oh,
OJ's
are you kidding
lawyer.
me? I mean,
OJ's
he
lawyer
got
was a
her off
Kardashian,
when
so-
it was when it was blatantly obvious she did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely killed her kid for
Yeah,
sure.
but that's the beauty of the justice system is you have access to
Well,
somebody.
they'll think
to represent
he
you.
only defends guilty people.
Yeah.
That's what they'll think.
Or they like long shots. They want to have the challenge of proving that they can get somebody off no matter how blatantly they're very much guilty, right?
Yeah.
Because that is a slippery slope
challenge.
that I see a lot in media. It's I see a lot of television shows where they portray citizens or even law enforcement as being overly antagonistic to a lawyer for just doing their job. It's you may not like them because they're representing this scumbag who everyone knows is guilty, but that same lawyer could be the one who needs to represent you when you're not guilty. So you need those people. They're a necessary. I wouldn't even call them an evil. They're a chaotic neutral. They're not evil. They're just, it's their job, and
Yeah.
they work within the confines of the justice system. But in this case, it's celebrities are dumb.
Here is Tory Lanez song lyrics
conclusion.
telling people that Megan lied about the situation in his rap song Money Over Fallout. Megan, people trying to frame me. Girl, you had the nerve to write that statement on the affidavit knowing I ain't do it, but I'm coming at my truest. And how the F you get shot in your foot didn't hit no bones or tendons.
At least he didn't say speaking my truth.
That's not
Let me make sure I still have that one on this file.
That's not a bad point. My only thing is I couldn't see someone being so evil to where they would want to just frame you for no reason for something like that and putting you in jail for 10 years. But these are vapid celebrities that we're talking about, so I don't
She's
know.
also really tall Like Megan Thee Stallion's like really tall, so maybe he's just like he's defending himself. He's like, get away from me, Satan.
That was the only thing he could reach.
She's the twerkinator, and she's about to just take him out.
The gun just levitated out of his pocket and shot itself.
I hate when that happens. So they just went off. The gun just went off. I hate it when that happens.
His fault. It's whoever loaded it and handed it to him. Clearly,
it's their fault. I'm telling you, what you do is like this is like you get away with prostitution by claiming you're making a porn. You get away with shooting someone by claiming you're making a movie, just like Alec Baldwin. That's all you really have to do these days. Just get the permits, and you're fine. Nobody will care because then we have to go to court. And is anybody surprised at all that a celebrity of any status got a conviction of this length?
That Tory Lanez was convicted? Oh, I don't know, because he hurt another celebrity. Maybe if he hurt someone who doesn't have celebrity status, it wouldn't have been the same way.
Yeah, they'd have been like, why were you
She has public sentiment on her side at this point.
There's a $20 one there from Mikey.
I always was taught that you only ever pull your weapon out if you intend to use it. I just think neither should have been in the vehicle.
You're absolutely right. Yep. You're 100%.
I'd love to know what they were fighting about. Like, it was a wrong turn that the driver took or something like that.
We're going to be 20 minutes late.
Can you just stop and ask for directions? He's like, no, I know where I'm going.
I'm a guy, and it is against our creed to stop and ask for directions. I don't even ask my phone for directions. I just find it, right?
Dudes hate asking employees for like where a certain product is in a store too.
What? Is that a thing?
Oh, yeah. I always ask.
Is that a thing? I mean, I guess I don't really look for things that I don't know where it is, or I just order it off Amazon. Like I don't have to.
There you go.
It ggets sent to me.
Just go down every aisle.
I'm trying to think if that's happened to me. No, that's not true because I was looking for upholstery, like something for my car. And I had to like where I was like it was not a place where I would normally shop, and so I had to ask like, do you like what aisle would this be in? Because it was like in the back corner.
You're an exception.
But it was like I didn't spend any time looking for it and then get frustrated and ask. I was just like in a hurry and needed to get in and out of the store as quickly as possible. Maybe I would have held true to my male beliefs and not asked anyone for help if I didn't have places to be.
I've been saying that men don't see things in the fridge. They don't perceive stationary objects. This is the thing.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, that's a pretty big trope, right? That
Men can't find anything. They look for stuff like this.
There's great memes where it's like it's like 5 minutes after or like right after asking my wife to look for something in the fridge, and it's the guy shaking in fear because the wife's gonna find it and be like, "I was right there."
But he gets to open the pickle jar once she shows him where it is.
Exactly.
Well, it's about balance and complementary, and
There's a great video. Where Sheena Milwani like glues a pickle jar like shut on her husband, and he spends like 3 minutes. Like he gets on the floor, he like puts it between his feet, and he's going like.
At that point, just break it.
Yeah. And like, but like,
Save your
throw it
dignity,
against the wall.
He's a good sport about it. He's like, is this thing possessed? Like I felt kind of bad for the dude. I'm like, I was like, I hope you got his permission to post this, just nerfing this dude, because it could have been one of those things where he could have been really, really sensitive and been like this and gotten really angry.
Having an existential crisis. Yeah, pickles.
He's like, what am I to my family?
His entire manhood is called into question.
What am I to my family if not the one who opens the pickle jar? He says. Like he's like, I am a provider, sure. I make lots of money, sure. But what purpose do I serve in the home if I am not the one you call on to open jars that are stuck?
Yeah.
That's the world we need. We need to ask these questions. These are the hard questions we need answered, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think that the Tory Lanez will get out early? I do.
Oh, probably.
Like less than 2-3 years.
Yeah.
If not, like they'll just be like, you know what? Trauma is big right now. Community service and go to rehab.
He's gonna record albums in prison. Like, who was that guy?
A lot of rappers have recorded albums in prison.
No, it was the one who like peed on teenagers or whatever.
Oh, R. Kelly?
R. Kelly. Yeah.
That guy.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.